My story is not particularly remarkable. I'm just a normal guy living in the Midwest. But through this project, when I discovered that everybody has a story that's at least worth telling, and the opportunity that I have with this particular speech is to not just tell through the spoken word, but to show through objects of effect in my life. I spent the middle 14 years of my life living in Maryville, Missouri. And if there's one thing that we did there, it's that we made T-shirts, just about everything. And while sometimes it gets a little bit obnoxious, what you end up with is proverbial wearable history. And so through that, that's what I want to show you here today. So the first thing that I want to show you is my T-shirt from Maryville High School football. And I played football for most of my life, up to my freshman year at high school. And during that freshman year, I played tight end, and we won the state championship in 2009. But so much of the things that went with being a part of the football team, particularly in Maryville, which is a football town through and through, the social standards, the hierarchy that it was indicative of, wasn't something that I necessarily went along with, even as a starting player on the state championship team. So I decided that I was going to go and I was going to play soccer. And I played that for 3 years, and by the time I was done, I ended up with a decorated high school career and several college options. Which brings me to the second thing that I brought today, which is what came of those college soccer options. Ultimately, I decided not to go to play college soccer at a smaller school, and decided that I would come here to Eastern Illinois, but more specifically, I came here to major in journalism. And that's what I've been spending the last 5 months of my life doing. I've been working for the Daily Eastern News since before I was even enrolled here. I was just sports editor this summer at the Den, and I went from having never taken a journalism class in my life to having that very necessary experience to be able to be the beat reporter for the men's soccer team this fall. And that brings me to the last core object that I brought today, my T-shirt from Soccer Morning. It's a T-shirt on the it's a radio show on the North American Soccer Network and Kick TV on YouTube. And I've listened to it since its inception earlier this spring. And it's hosted by Jason Davis, and it's one of those things that if I were to grow up and have a show like Soccer Morning, or possibly through any other media medium, I would really prove the old adage true that if you love what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life. And so the last thing that I brought today is this jacket. Not necessarily because it has any particular symbolic value in itself, but instead for what it means. When you have a past, whether it's remarkable or not, whether it's where you've been, where you might have previously lived, or where you are right now, or even where you plan to go in the future, you can't let those things be too much on the outside. So you have to look to cover those things up. But you can never get away with them. Your past is always going to be something you're going to hold closest to you. Your present is going to be indicative of where you want to go, and you always keep that goal in sight. But even as you cover it, it's important to keep those sort of things to the forefront. So whenever you look down, you know where you're going, keep your path close.